Okay, welcome back. So we've got the market, which is now in the red actually. So from the day's high, it's long way off now in terms of where we are at. Almost, I mean, not actually almost like yesterday. By this time yesterday, we had, a big 250 odd point collapse from the day high. Yesterday was a big gap up start and then almost immediately a collapse. Then there was a big rebound to the second high of the day. That was by about 12 noon or so before another round of sell-off. It's been more moderate. I mean, the slip from the day's high has been very, very gradual, but nevertheless, we are down in the red now. Jigar Mistry is with us. He's co-founder at Buoyant Capital. He's joining us to talk about market fundamentals. Jigar, great to have you with us here. Thanks very much. So you have, or rather, you've owned, some of these winners, names like IRCTC, etc. Not recently, but you've owned them for a while. And you made a lot of money. What is your view now on some of these names? I just mentioned IRCTC because we've discussed that name with you in the past in our interactions.
Hi, good morning, Prashant. So, right, see, over the last week or so, you have seen the small cap index correct something like 8%. And the Sensex has been down about, I think, 1% or 2% or so. If you look at, BSE 500 names, some 30 odd stocks are down 15% or more, right? 13 number. And, we look at the top and we look now and we said, look how much the stocks have corrected. But, if you look at over the last 1 month, those 13 names are down about 2% or so, right? 11 of those 13 names are actually up on a month-on-month. So reading too much into this sort of momentary corrections, yes, excesses do get built out and eventually they do, get taken out with a swift move. IRCTC, you mentioned that name. Yes, we have owned it. We had actually first bought it when it was 16 odd 100. And we continue to own some part of the quantity. Obviously, the run-up had been just too sharp for us to justify continued ownership in that name. But even that, right, IRCTC is up despite all the memes. Yesterday over. I think what's more important.
Okay, I think we are having some issue getting. I think we are getting to you, but I think the video output is a little poor. We'll try and fix that and just come back to you. In the meanwhile, let me just take a quick look at what's happening in the broader markets. IRCTC, of course, was up about 8%. It's up 6% right now. Tata Power is the other one, which was up a lot more. It's up about 6.5%. Bank of Baroda is jumping about 4 3/4. IEX was up, I think, 9%. It's up 6.5%. There's a little bit of pullback. Tata Motors DVR is up 5% at about, 255. Sonacom is up 5%. There is Home First, which I think at about 700 is up 7%. Big volumes on Home First today. IDFC is another one, which is up 7%. And so on and so forth. I can go down Loda, for example, Balrampur Chini, Arvind, BEML, all in the range of between 5 and 8%, these names. And there's more. Real estate, by the way, is making a comeback. Brigade, etc. are doing well today. Jigar, I think we have you on a phone line now. There was some issue, but go on. I think you were just getting to the point of explaining IRCTC. Go on.
Yeah, sorry about that, Prashant. So I started by saying that 13 names, down 15% or more in the last 1 week or so, but down only 2% over the last 1 month. So excesses do get built out and eventually they get taken out very swiftly as well. The way we did used to own, and we first bought IRCTC around 16 odd 100 levels, and it was getting a little more expensive for us to justify continued ownership. So we have sold out a majority of that position. Some minuscule positions do hold on. But again, this is not a fly-by-night company, right? It is a company which will generate something like 1,000 crores in PAT a year down the line. And there are optionalities in terms of how, the payment gateway for this will get taken care of. Besides the other benefits like, the PNR would start getting billed now as per individual passengers. The water prices would increase essentially. So it's a decent stock to own. Just when the valuations get too much, we cannot keep holding them. So we hold a minuscule quantity as of now as we speak. I think, sorry.
No, sir. I understand that, say, at levels of 6,000, you found the valuations overheated. But at current valuations, The stock is trading at 4,250. Are the valuations fair? Can it be justified for you to continue to hold on?
Yeah, I think so. I see 1,000 odd crores. We are at, I think, 60 or 1,000 crores market cap, if I'm not mistaken. And there are optionalities onto it. As I said, if whatever we sort of build in, there are optionalities to be had. And current price is not that excessive. Also, over the last 2 or 3 days, my sense is that this was among the top traded stock, which means that a lot of people might have got worried and sold out of this name. So incrementally, I think once the business fundamentals take on, it could be an interesting bet. But Rima, again, see, what I was trying to say is that when we spoke at the early part of October, we were arguing that disciplined investing is actually sort of preceding and benefiting over timing the market every now and again. And I think we tend to focus a lot more on these names on a weekly or from top to current levels. I think what is more interesting is to look at it from a cyclical standpoint. So, you take the top 15 companies that in the run-up to 2008 peak, and of those 15 companies, 14 companies did not even reach their 2008 highs after 10 years. A few of them went bankrupt, but most of them, generated a negative 10-year CAGR. So we have put out 2 studies over the last 2 weeks on our website. What we are arguing is that, getting positioned in the right sector is actually the most important part. Getting positioned within that sector into the right company is much more important. I think those timing things, 20% down, 20% up can, over the longer period of time, take care of themselves.
Okay, hi Jigar, good morning. This is Pavitra. You said getting position in the right sector is important. What is the right sector right now for you then? I mean, so many of these sectors have done well, right? And it seems like wherever you look, you're seeing good gains. So where do you see value right now in this market?
Yeah, good morning, Pavitra. So, right, the sectors that we like are as follows: banking, insurance, metals, select chemicals, very selective IT, and some reopening. Right now, banking, we have argued in the past that, Sensex and Nifty broader markets have moved to a higher level. People kept on worrying about the banking system. And once ICICI came out with their results, some part of that was delayed. So going forward, I think all the banks that can report reasonably decent growth and control the slippages in the asset quality will get re-rated. The ones that we continue to like, our ICICI obviously has been our top holding for a while now, but also SBI, Federal Bank and Canara Bank. In insurance, ever since I have been coming to CNBC, we have liked Max Financial, although the sector has corrected and SBI Life Insurance makes a lot of sense as well. But we own Max Financial. In technology, I think, with the numbers that have come out, we're fairly certain that there's no problem with demand, but the margins is something that needs to be taken care of. And when they're trading at that all-time highs, one needs to be wary. So the ones that we own are eClerx, Cyient, and Allstep. And reopening, I think, is the last one. The stocks that have not gone sort of flagrant and berserk are Welspun India, Pokerna, and SIS. So these are the names. And lastly, on chemicals, again, commodity chemicals got re-rated like it's no tomorrow. I think one needs to take a step back there, understand on how the incremental businesses is getting driven. So the ones that we like and own are Gujarat Fluorochem and Sudarshan Chemicals.
Jigar, thank you very much for joining in. Actually, all the private sector financials which have reported numbers up until now, whether it's ICICI Bank or HDFC Bank or Federal Bank, have been fairly strong. And as we said, today we'll get a flavor of what PSU banks are likely to report with Canara Bank.